Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mestios, where we make sense of the world's biggest questions. Today, we're diving into NATO, what it is, why it was created, how it works, and whether it's still up to the task of protecting its member states. You've likely heard over the past few years about the importance of NATO and claims that it is now stronger than ever. But is that actually true?
My friends, it's good that we're stronger than ever, because this moment in history calls for our collective strength.
While the challenges we face may change, the answer is the same. We are stronger and safer, Europe and North America, together in NATO.
NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was born in 1949, right after the devastation of World War II. The world was recovering, but tensions between Western democracies and the Soviet Union were escalating. Leaders in the West realized they needed a united front to prevent future wars and, more importantly, to deter aggression from powerful adversaries. So they created NATO, an alliance of 12 countries, including the United States, Canada, and several Western European nations. Its primary mission? To ensure collective defense, meaning an attack on one is considered an attack on all. This core principle is enshrined in NATO's famous Article 5. NATO's membership has expanded significantly since its creation. Today, the alliance includes 32 member countries, with the latest additions being Finland in 2023 and Sweden in 2024. But how does NATO's protection actually work? One of NATO's most defining features is Article 5 of its founding treaty, which serves as the cornerstone of collective defense. Article 5 states that an armed attack against one member is considered an attack against all. This provision obligates each member to take action it deems necessary to restore and maintain security. Such measures may include the use of armed force, but there is no guarantee that member states will choose to resort to this option. Since its inception, Article 5 has been invoked only once, following the September 11 attacks in 2001, showcasing its role in addressing both traditional and evolving threats. In 1954, Germany requested a legal opinion from the NATO Council about whether Article 5 would allow the use of German forces in a collective defense scenario. The legal opinion concluded that Germany, as a member of NATO, would indeed be able to participate in collective defense under Article 5 if an armed attack occurred against another NATO member. However, this participation was subject to Germany's own constitutional constraints, particularly the need for parliamentary approval of military engagements. So, imagine there is a military aggression against a NATO member state. What is the likelihood of all other member states stepping in as a united front, sending troops and necessary equipment? Even if there is a will to do that, how much time would it take to get all internal approvals, including from the parliaments? Add to this political controversies and populism, and things will start to look even grimmer. Let's look into how individual NATO members responded to the war in Ukraine. While there was tremendous support from Poland, the Baltic countries, and the USA, some other countries chose to take a risk-averse approach and distance themselves from the conflict. Hungary and Slovakia, on the other hand, openly supported Russia, hoping to get a discount on Russian oil and gas. Ukraine is not in NATO, but should there be an invasion of a NATO member by a strong adversary, it is very likely that other NATO member states would choose to pursue their own interests rather than support their ally. Let's also not forget how divided NATO is on military spendings. The alliance's goal is for each member to spend at least 2% of its GDP on defense, a target established in 2006. However, this target has often been a point of contention, with the United States, which contributes a disproportionate share of NATO's military budget, urging European allies to increase their defense expenditures. Many European countries, such as Germany and France, have faced criticism for not meeting the 2% threshold, citing economic constraints or prioritizing other domestic needs. On the other hand, some smaller NATO members argue that their security needs are adequately met without reaching the 2% goal. This imbalance has led to tensions within the alliance, but the war in Ukraine is likely to change the situation. While NATO might not guarantee protection in practice, the presence of foreign troops from a major power could provide a country with more security assurances. For example, Germany's hosting of U.S. military bases during the Cold War and beyond has been seen as a key element of its security strategy. The presence of U.S. forces in Germany has served as a powerful deterrent against potential aggression, particularly from Russia, by ensuring a rapid response capability and reinforcing the credibility of security guarantees. Given all these hurdles, is NATO still an adequate deterrent, or is it slowly turning into a remnant of the Cold War? One thing that can already be said is that NATO needs to evolve, at least at the same pace as the challenges it is facing.